going for a morning walk today. Need to get back on it. Anywho, it's Dakota here, going through a walk. So if I didn't mention it in the previous video, because I was so out of it, I forgot to mention, I've moved to Florida. For those of you who've been watching my videos for the past few years, I was in Oklahoma, except for I would say probably the past month of videos. Those were shot in Texas. But yeah, I moved to Florida, and I'm engaged as of 2 days ago. So, yay, marriage in December, fun stuff. Anyway, I wanted to make a video, obviously, and talk about a couple of mixtapes, and they're not so much reviews; they're just kind of my thoughts on them. A couple of mixtapes that have come out in the past week, and the first being Kodak Black's Little Big Pac, which obviously is an allusion to the two, probably arguably the two biggest rappers since hip hop has begun. And that would be Tupac and Biggie, and the cover even rips off "Ready to Die" by Notorious B.I.G. But I listened to it, and in all honesty, it's really not that bad. Kodak Black, if I'm not mistaken, he's from Atlanta. And when I saw him, and it was on the XXL website, because he's up, I think, to be on the cover of the next freshman issue, so you can vote for him, I think. But I saw him, just took a look at him, knew he was from the South, and did a little bit of rap stereotyping, just assumed he was like another Young Thug or Migos type person, thinking, okay, he's from Atlanta, it's gonna be that auto-tune triplet rapping crap, which isn't always crap, which I enjoy a lot of it. Young Thug is good to me. I like Young Thug. But now Kodak Black is pretty dang cool, and Little Big Pac is a project that surprisingly I enjoy. And he has a very old school flow. I don't mean old school in the sense of like, Melly Mel or Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Not that old school, but he kind of reminds me of like Hot Boys era Lil Wayne, and Lil Boozy's earlier stuff, who's actually featured on this mixtape. And a couple of tracks, he really sounds a lot like Travis Porter and how they were flowing about 5-6 years ago. So it's a little bit more of the traditional Dirty South, and it's not that bad. Now, however, there is no however, sorry. I just see another person walking toward me, and they're looking at me. They're like, this guy's filming a video. He's weird. What is that device he has in his hand? But anywho, yeah. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna flip around so it's not awkward. And, okay. I'm just not in the mood to talk to anyone this morning. I'm trying to talk about hip hop. I don't want to talk to people. But anyway, yeah. So there was that. The Kodak Black project is pretty good. The beats are, a few of them sound the same, and it's not like lyrical, super lyrical, conscious hip hop. It's kind of like that traditional, been in the jail, got to support my family, had to struggle to eat, and it just sounds like that good old Southern hip hop that was coming out about 10-15 years ago, and it's good stuff. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, please don't hit me. Yeah, but it's good. The beats are good. My favorite track is Vibin' in Navy with Gucci Mane. It's so good. But no, it's good stuff. I mean, I would suggest if you like any of the artists that I compared his sound to go check it out. But he's up front with his stuff. He doesn't cuss that much, well, as much as you would expect him to, surprisingly, which I enjoyed. You know me. And yeah, he's a pretty decent storyteller. It's, like I said, not lyrical, but for it being not lyrical, he's pretty good at telling a story and staying on topic. And it's really good. There's some other songs I like on there too, and I can't think of them, but I'll put them in the description box. Now, the other mixtape I want to talk about is this new Wale project, Summer on Sunset, which apparently, I don't know if it dropped yesterday, but it's dropped within the past couple days because it's still pretty new. And this project, Wale. Okay, look. Wale is not someone that I've been a huge fan of. Okay? I thought he was decent. I have not listened to any of his stuff since Ambition, which came out like 6 years ago. 5-6 years ago. You know, Wale was booming kind of right when I started to get out of high school. And I remember the college I went to was called Langston University, which is an HBCU. And Wale actually did a concert there. And so everybody was flipping out trying to get tickets to it. I forget who he was with. I think he was with B.I.G. But everyone was freaking out, and Wale was really hot in my high school college days, the last couple years, first year of college. And so, you know, I heard you know, he was okay, he was decent. I knew he was with MMG at one point. And so I thought, okay, and you know, I still have not checked out the album About Nothing, which I want to check out, not only as a hip-hop fan, but as a Seinfeld fan. But some of the things I've heard about it, I watched a couple reviews on it, and they were talking about, oh, it's just, you know, Wale singing really badly on some, you know, R&B influenced trap beats, and it's just boring and blah blah blah. And I didn't let that sway me. I still wanted to listen to it, still want to listen to it. But Summer on Sunset is exactly that. I mean, while it does have a concept somewhat, apparently Wale has moved out to LA to quote unquote clear his head and work on this new album, which is tentatively titled Shine. And I don't know, he says he's working on this project and he's moved to LA. Sorry, I have to really pee, so I'm kind of rambling, but let me stop and talk about it. I'm back at the house now. Short walk, but I have to pee really bad. So Summer on Sunset is exactly what the descriptions of the album About Nothing have been, and that is horrible rap singing over R&B influenced beats. And so many beats on this project sound alike. Now, the first few tracks were good. Wale fooled me. He really fooled me. There was a DJ Mustard track that he does with Ty Dolla $ign that's really good. We don't believe you, we don't believe you. Talking about, you know, fake women in LA, which is what a lot of this album talks about. There was another really good track that was the second one. I don't remember what it's called, but it was more ATL kind of trap influence. I don't remember where Wale's from. And, you know, he was kind of doing the triplet, not really enunciating every word kind of thing. Kind of bit some styles there, but it was okay. The first track was good. The beat on it was fantastic. But yeah, man, this mixtape is way too long. First of all, 17 tracks. And once you get to track, I want to say it's track 5. From there on, and aside from the Breaking Necks interlude, this is a lackluster mixtape, man. The storyline is while I appreciate Wale giving us a storyline in a mixtape as opposed to just a bunch of tracks, it's the same thing over and over. It's like the same song. It's like he moves out to LA, he's trying to clear his head, he's working on this album, promoters are trying to get a hold of him, but at the same time he's got these girls in LA coming through, and he's saying how they're fake because they're LA girls, and he's trying to dodge them. Then his girl on the East Coast calls and says, why are you ignoring my girl on the West Coast? She's trying to hang out with you, blah blah blah. And meanwhile, like every other song has these voicemail snippets that help play the storyline, but they're not really voicemail snippets, and they sound too high quality for a voicemail and too scripted, and you can tell it's fake, like, and you don't even put a good phone effect on it. And at one point you have a guy on the phone with a guy on the other end who's leaving a voicemail on Wale's mailbox, and there's like a phone effect within a phone effect, and it just sounds really bad. It's a really boring project. Like, the first few tracks are really cool, I kept them, and then the rest of it I was like, Wale, how dare you? Like, this, no, I'm so done with you. You fooled me. You gave me like 3-4 good songs, and had the dog pound on your mixtape on one track. Like, how you have, dog pound, legendary, and you had him over this soft candy rapping beat when they were spitting some gangsta lyrics. I don't know, it was the Wale one. But anyway, Kodak Black mixtape, Little Big Pac, would listen to it. Honestly, go check it out. Surprisingly good. Summer on Sunset. I mean, shout out to the producers, but no shout outs to Wale for picking nothing but beats that sound alike and rapping the same lyrics. Bleh.